Ladies and gentlemen, most people don't realize it, but their biggest enemy isn't out there. It's in their own mind. Every day, countless thoughts pass through your head, and many of them are negative, automatic, and deeply limiting. These thoughts don't shout. They whisper. They tell you you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that it's too late. And the worst part, you start to believe them. You start to live by them. But what if you could catch those thoughts before they take root? What if you could stop them before they sabotage your confidence, your actions, and your future? In this talk, we'll break down exactly how negative thinking works, how it quietly shapes your behavior, and, most importantly, how to shut it down before it destroys your momentum. Because once you understand the power of thought, you'll never look at your inner dialogue the same way again. Let's get into it. Why do some people constantly second-guess themselves while others draw success effortlessly? The answer isn't talent or luck, it's mindset. If you don't take control of your thoughts, they'll end up controlling you. In this video, you'll learn how to turn your inner critic into a powerful supporter. And at the end, I'll share actionable, life-changing techniques you can start using immediately. Before we dive in, if you're interested in more insights about the power of mindset, hit that subscribe button. It's a small habit that serves your future. When I first heard the phrase, "we become what we think about most of the time," it didn't mean much to me. Back then, I was working a regular retail job, nothing fancy. I thought, that sounds like something from a self-help book, not real life. But over time, I noticed something important. People in the same job, with the same resources, were experiencing completely different outcomes. Some were making real progress while others remained stuck. Despite working just as hard, that's when it clicked. It's not your surroundings that define you. It's the internal story you're telling yourself. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, "I'm not smart enough, I never get lucky, things just don't work out for me"? These aren't harmless thoughts. They're like anchors keeping you grounded when you were meant to rise. And if you still think negative thinking is just a passing mood, let me be clear, it's a script. One you're following every single day, and the most surprising part, you didn't even write it. That script was handed to you by a parent, a teacher, a former boss, maybe even a careless comment or a past failure. But here's the truth, you have the ability to rewrite it. I've been there myself. At 25, I had nothing. No money, no clear path forward, and no belief in myself. My mind was filled with debt, frustration, and a habit of complaining. One day, I had a realization. If I kept going the same way, I wouldn't just be financially broke, I'd be emotionally and mentally bankrupt too. That's when I began searching for ways to change my thinking. I started reading, having conversations with mentors, journaling, and, most importantly, interrupting negative patterns before they could take hold. Here's the truth, plain and simple. You can change your life, but it starts by changing the way you speak to yourself. Because the most dangerous voices aren't the ones around you. They're the ones you start believing inside. The ones that say, "It's too late," "You're not capable," "Growth isn't possible for you." Let me say this clearly, that is false. Your mind can be trained to think differently, and I'm going to walk you through that process. In this video, we're not just talking about mindset. We're taking action. You'll learn hands-on techniques to replace limiting beliefs. We'll break down where negative thoughts come from, how to recognize them, and, most importantly, how to replace them with empowering thoughts that lift you, not hold you back. At the end, I'll give you self-assessment questions to evaluate your mindset and choose one area to improve this week. Ask yourself this: do you trust your doubts more than your potential? Because here's something I've learned, doubt is a habit. But so is belief, and whichever one you reinforce becomes the foundation of who you are. When we talk about negative thoughts, we're not just talking about feeling down. We're talking about the silent phrases that repeat until they become part of your identity. I call them silent saboteurs. They don't shout. They whisper things like, "Why try? You'll just fail." And the more you listen, the less you act. The less you act, the less you achieve, and that lack of progress builds frustration. Before long, you're stuck in a trap you unknowingly built. One of the most powerful lessons I learned early on was this: ask questions. When doubt shows up, don't argue with it, expose it. For example, if the thought is, "I'm not smart enough for this," ask yourself, where did that come from? Is it even true, or is it someone else's fear I adopted as my own? Think of your mind like a garden. If you're not planting something helpful, weeds, negative thoughts grow automatically. The first step to changing your mindset is spotting those weeds. The tricky part, negative thoughts sound convincing. They disguise themselves as caution or realism. They say things like, "Play it safe, stay where it's comfortable," but let me tell you something, the comfort zone is where dreams slowly fade away. I've seen people sit there for decades, calling it being realistic, but deep down, they aren't fulfilled. Here's your first move. Write down your limiting beliefs, clearly, honestly, no softening. Examples: "I'm not worthy of success. I always mess things up. Nobody really cares about me." Under each one, write, where did this belief come from? Is it based on my experience, or was it planted in me? That awareness is a game changer. Most people follow mental scripts they've never questioned. Now you can unsee yours. Next, replace those beliefs, but not with empty affirmations. Use grounded, truthful statements. For example, instead of "I'm not good enough," say, "I may not have the skill yet, but I can learn." Instead of "I'm useless," say, "I have abilities I'm still developing." Instead of "I'm unlucky," say, "I create my own chances through action." I use a simple method for this, thought plus action. When a negative thought pops up, I don't just fight it, I follow it with movement. For example, thought, "Today will be tough." Add, "But I'll accomplish one thing that matters." Then do it. That one step shifts everything. It breaks the spiral. We can't stop every thought, but we can choose which ones to believe. One more thing, don't confuse positive thinking with ignoring reality. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about seeing the challenge and still choosing action. That's not delusion, it's resilience. I've seen people endure incredible hardships and emerge stronger, not because they never felt fear, but because they chose their thoughts with intention every day, and so can you. One last point, your thoughts are shaped by your surroundings. If you're always around fear or complaints, it will rub off. But when you listen to voices focused on growth, your mindset changes. By design, want to shift your thinking? Start by changing what and who you listen to. They called themselves realists, but they weren't content.